Hello and welcome to this video on Introduction to Arrays. In this video, we'll be dealing about what are arrays, how to declare an array, how to initialize an array, and how to traverse through the arrays. Along with that, we'll also be seeing some of the advantages and disadvantages of arrays. So let us start the video. What are arrays? Array is a collection of similar type of elements which has contiguous memory location. So let us understand what this means. So Java arrays is an object which contains elements of a similar data type. Additionally, the elements of an array are stored in contiguous memory location. These are nothing but continuous locations where we will be able to access them. For example, I'll store my first element of array in the index 0 and consecutively 1, 2 and 3. So if I initialize an array of element A, its A of 0 would hold my first value, A of 1 will store the value of second value, 3, 4, 5 continuously. So arrays in Java is index based. Unlike C and C++, we get the dot length of an array using the length member. In C++, we have to use the size of operator. In Java, arrays is an object of dynamically generated class, meaning the Java arrays inherit the object class and implement the serializable as well as clonable interface. We'll be able to store primitive values or objects in an array in Java. There are two types of arrays in Java: single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. For understanding, we'll just learn about single dimensional arrays in this video. In single dimensional array, let us see how to declare them. So here we have a code testmain.java which has its main function. So to initialize the array, first to initialize we need to declare the data type int. So I'm planning on storing numbers. So I'm initializing out data type int and the array name a, and then you'll have your boxed open close brackets. These hold the values and this inform the program that we are initializing an array, and then we equate it to an operator called new, and along with that we again have the data type int, and inside the brackets we'll be initializing the number of elements that we want in an array. In this example, I want 5 elements to be stored in my array, so I'm giving my file value. To repeat it again, I'll have my data type and the array name and box brackets to inform the code that it is an array, that is we are initializing, and equate it to an operator called new, and then again the data type, and inside the box brackets we have the number of elements that you want to declare. So this is how you declare and initiate a array variable. Next comes the initialization part. Now that we have 5 elements, if you remember properly, we now can store values according to their indexes. Meaning, my variable a 0th position can now hold the value of 10, and my array of first position can hold the value of 20. Similarly, a of 2 can store the value 30. A of 3 can store the value 40. And a of 4 can store my value 50. If you remember properly, we have 5 elements, but I only initialized 4. This is because our value starts from 0, and in total we have 5 variables that I initialize. So if you provide a of 5, it will throw an array index out of bound exception. So this is because the count of number of elements allocated will be always -1 and to the last element of the array. So this is about initialize. Now to traverse through this array, I cannot simply print every element one by one, right? So instead of doing that, we have the option of using a for loop to traverse through the arrays. So how do I do that? I open my for loop and I initialize a temporary variable I and equate it to 0, which is nothing but the first element of my array. According to that, now I'll have a less than, and if you remember the theory part, we have the dot length operation available for arrays to extract the length of the array. So I'll be using a dot length. The thing to notice is we do not have open close brackets because these are not functions but the operations that are available for arrays. and at last I plus plus. Now if you open close the brackets, I'll use my system.out.println and have my array and open the box brackets. Inside my array, uh, I'll have my variable I, which alternates from 0 to the length of the array. So I do not give less than equal to for a dot length. This is because the length of element would return the value 5 and we need to only equate until 4, right? Because we are starting from 0. So this is an important point to remember in your coding journey. Now once I give that, now I'll be able to print the elements and I have closed all my loops. Now I save the program. I open my terminal, java c.testmain.java, and then I have my java.main. As you can see, all the elements of my arrays are now printed. So now there are multiple ways to declare and initialize our values. Let us see another method how we can do that. Now, instead of me giving values one by one, I can remove this, and once I do that, I'll change my initialization part also. So now we'll be combining our declaration and initialization together. So how do we do that? I again provide the data type that I want and the array name, open close brackets, and I equate it to a curly brackets. Now inside my curly brackets, the values that I am going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would now automatically be stored inside my arrays. You can note that I have never gave the number of elements of this array anywhere in this particular statement. This is because the code can automatically detect the number of elements by the inputs that I have given. So with this, now if I try to print those values again, as you can see, these values are printed again. So this is one of the benefits of using arrays where we can alternate the values here and there. So the last part, advantages and disadvantages of arrays. First, the advantages. Code optimization. It makes the code more optimized and we can retrieve or sort the data efficiently. We'll be seeing the sorting aspect of arrays later videos. To point out, code optimization is nothing but where we'll be able to store 5 values inside a single name instead of having separate variables A, B, C, D, E and storing each of these values. We now get to access these values together. The next advantage is random access. We can get any data located at any index point. Aspect where you give I, if I want to take my fourth element, I can just give A of 4. So this is one of the advantages. Now coming to the disadvantages. Size limit. We can store only the fixed size of elements in an array. It doesn't grow its size at runtime. To solve this problem, collection framework is used in Java which grows automatically. We'll be seeing about collection frameworks in the upcoming video. The point to note that is now I have initialized an array of 5 elements, but if I want to add my sixth element, I cannot do that because our array is initialized for only 5 values. I can change the 5 values within it, but to grow it up, I need to use my collection frameworks. So this is about arrays. Hope this video was helpful. See you in the next video. Thank you.